Hello everyone, it's Grandpa Ron again. Hope everybody's well and happy. Thought I'd talk to you a little bit today, a little bit more about the workplace and specifically some tips on how to make a suggestion or recommendation or present an idea and enhance your odds of getting that approved. And there's 7 or 8 things I want to cover, so I'll just get started. Number one is you want to make yourself as professional and good at your job as you possibly can. Learn all you can. Be diligent. There's nothing that's going to help you more than a good reputation of being hardworking and efficient, and so you need to work at that. That's going to count a lot when your boss or manager is approached by you and you're trying to sell your recommendation. If you're shoddy in your workmanship and tardy and you're not the best you can be, you're probably not going to have as good a luck selling your suggestion or your proposal. So apply yourself at your work, be very diligent, and develop yourself into the best employee you can be in the job you're functioning at. Number 2 is related to your boss or manager. There are a lot of different kinds of bosses out there. You've got some that are just super busy. They're good bosses, but they are legitimately busy all the time. Then you've got others that they might have a head on their shoulders, but they're kind of lazy. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to anything new. They're kind of coasting along. And regardless of whether you've got a busy boss or a lazy boss, what you want to do is make it as simple as possible for them to adopt your idea. So that means you're going to have to do a lot of legwork. You flesh out your idea. You determine, is it going to cost anything financially? If so, how much? What would the benefits be? Is it going to create a need for additional manpower? Or is it going to create a manpower savings? Are there some policies that have to be put in place? But flesh out your idea so that you're able to tell the decision maker, number one, what it is you want to do, how it's going to benefit the operation, the cost and personnel implications, quality implications, and things like that. And once you've done that, satisfy yourself in your own mind, what is it going to take to implement something like this? And take your suggestion all the way to the point of preparing the steps for implementation. For example, if you're proposing a policy, actually write out the policy. Do a draft of the policy. If it's going to require purchasing some things, go out and do some cost comparisons, maybe even to the point of even writing out purchase orders, because your goal is going to be to make it so simple that all the boss has to do is sign his name, and this is going to be, your idea is going to be put into action. Requires no work of the boss other than to just say, okay, let's do it. If your boss, whether he's busy or whether he's lazy, perceives that this is going to be a lot of work for me personally, even though it might be a good idea, it may be shoved off to the side and put on the back burner and may not get implemented. So make it as easy as you can for the decision maker, even to the point of just signing his name, his or her name. Number 3 is when you're going through this process of developing your idea, don't hide anything. If there's some potential risks, if there's some downsides to it, if you have, we're going to talk a minute about getting input from your coworkers. If you've got some negative input, don't hide that from the decision maker. They need to have the good, the bad, and the ugly to make the decision, so don't hide those kind of things. You want to identify them. You want to anticipate what the decision maker may ask and what they may want to know, but be prepared to make those answers, give those answers, and don't hide anything in your proposal. It'll give the appearance that you're trying to drive something through for personal reasons and not looking out for the best interest of the decision maker and the organization that you're working for. So don't hide anything. Number 4, we all have a variety of coworkers, and some are very responsible, and those are the ones you want to go to get feedback on your idea. And most of the time, if they're responsible people, they'll give you some honest feedback. You have to be careful though, because people don't want to hurt feelings, and so you want to make sure that you're dealing with coworkers that will give you their honest opinion and not just be tickling your ears because they don't want to offend you. So it's nice to develop some relationships where you are able to go to those people and get their honest input. Number 5, if it is approved, you want to make sure you follow through on the steps necessary to make your proposal happen. Don't assume that just because you've proposed an idea and it's approved that it's just automatically going to happen on its own. And with this comes a little bit of, I'll call it risk, in the sense that even though you have proposed the idea, even though you do the work to make it happen, be prepared that you may not be recognized for it. Now, some organizations have actual policies in place regarding suggestions, and they might have a reward system for that. But if you do what I've talked about previously, develop all the groundwork and costs and all that, clearly you're going to have a little paper trail showing the work that you did, and that will help you down the road if you are eligible for some kind of award. But don't be surprised if you get nothing more than a "gee, that's nice" and a little pat on the back, but don't get any big financial remuneration for it. If you continue to be diligent, make recommendations that actually work, I'll guarantee eventually it will pay off for you. But there's no guarantee in every single case that you'll get the wild acclaim that you expect. If it's not approved, don't give up. You want to learn from the experience, and you may have to go back to the drawing table and try to address the reasons that you perceive that your suggestion was not approved. So don't give up. Use it as a learning experience. Go back and try to rework your idea, and look for a time when it's opportune to possibly resubmit it or put it in different terms. One of the things that you might consider, and I'll call this another step, is what I used to call a pilot program. You might suggest that it be tried for a certain period of time. It could be, let's try this for a week or 2 weeks or a month and see if it pays off, see if it really works. And sometimes you can enhance your chances of getting it approved by presenting it as as a pilot program. I'd like to test this and see how it goes. So don't overlook that option. The last step I'll give you that I use is I pray about it. And that should be step one, actually. If you're committing your work and your ideas and your life to Jesus Christ, then as you acquire things, you're going to be more joyous, be more happy. It's going to be worth your while a lot more. And in the case of rejection, where you're turned down, you're not going to be devastated. You're going to realize that there's still joy and happiness in that as well. So don't forget the prayer part. Anyway, these are just some suggestions for you. Be diligent in your work, so you have a good reputation in the workplace. Do the background. Do as much as you can, so that all your boss has to do is just sign his name and approve it, his or her name. Pardon me. Don't hide anything. Get the input from your coworkers as you're developing the plan. Keep a little folder, keep your paper trail, so that in case you do qualify for an award, you have your little paper trail. And don't get frustrated if you don't always get wild accolades, and be prepared if you are held responsible if things don't go exactly right. Most of the time you will get accolades, and most of the time it will work, because you've done your homework and you've got a plan that makes sense enough to be adopted. But just be prepared for potential downside. Anyway, hope I haven't rambled too much. I hope it pays off for you and make your job a little easier. I hope you have success in your suggestions. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.